All right. Good evening, guys. So we started this batch yesterday, and yesterday's demo session was available on my YouTube channel as public video, guys. So let me quickly show you that. So I hope everyone received it. We got some inquiries today as well. So and I hope everyone received it. Right. And I created a playlist URL for your batch, and this is the playlist URL for this batch, PT September 2024 JMeter evening batch. Okay. So I'll share this, I'll be adding all the recorded sessions to this playlist URL. All right. So please save my WhatsApp number, guys. Otherwise, you will not get notifications, from us. So please save this WhatsApp number. Okay. And also, like before I start the session, so please follow our Insta page. So where we are sharing a lot of referral openings, guys. We are keeping a lot of efforts to collect those and share to you through Insta. Right. So because most of you people are uh, active on Insta. That's why we had started Insta recently, and I'm sharing a lot of openings over here. Okay, referral openings and openings collected from LinkedIn and various sources. Okay, so most of the openings will be referral openings. So clear, guys. So this is my Insta handle, MGM IT Training. Go to Instagram.com and search for MGM IT Training. Okay, this is my Insta handle. And also please subscribe and turn on all notifications to my YouTube channel, guys. I already shared you demo session, right? So by the way, coming to today's session, so I had created one Google Classroom and started adding people who already confirmed their joining, who already paid fees and confirmed their joining. So please let me know if you already paid fees and you are ready to be added. Okay. Pranit, please accept this invite. I had shared you Google Classroom invite. You need to click on join class and accept the invite.
Sure.
Okay. Fee structure, I had shared it in the WhatsApp group, Manoj. So if you did not receive it before, I'll share it again. All right. So now yesterday I just gave a quick demo and I think I had covered till here, right? So this is our Amirpet classroom for your information, guys. Let me go to slideshow mode. So the left one is our Amirpet classroom and right one is our Madhapur conference room, training room, Madhapur training room. Okay. So right now we are having new batches in Amirpet only. Madhapur, we don't have any new batch now. But this is for working employees, those who are already doing some job and who want to attend the training before their office. So we ran one batch before from 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning in Madhapur, so that working people can attend the training and then they can go to office. So that's the reason we started that Madhapur batch, right? And yesterday I had covered till then, till this slide number 8. Now let me go to course contents. I had already shared to you, and let me these are weekly assessment results. So what is this weekly assessment is? So once we complete our first week of training, once we complete the performance testing fundamentals, I'll be sharing one week one assessment. And once you attempt that test, you'll see the results as well as I'll get an email like this. Once you complete the assessment, you'll see the results. You'll see your results by yourself, and I will also get an email like this. So this is about weekly assessment. And for those who are attending, like classroom training, we are conducting some monthly assessment as well, monthly written test. Okay, I'm giving some printed form and we are conducting written test for those who are attending offline. Okay. And online also I'll share it, but people are copying and attempting the test if it is online. Because in the last previous batches we observed that those who got 90% in the online test, they got only 70 to 80% in the classroom test, written test. Okay. Anyways, so it's up to you whether you attempt it honestly or you cheat yourself, right? And there are these are some few success stories of our previous batch students. So this guy is Shravan Kumar Reddy from Nellore, and he was BTech EIE passed out. There is in BTech there is a branch called Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering. It says, right? I don't know that about that branch until he joined. Basically, I am from MCA background, so I don't know all the branches in that. And this guy got like he's a why I mentioned here is like he's a 2014 passed out. He joined training in 2022, 2022 or 3, and he got placement in TCS. Okay. And apart from that, there are some people like Likhil and Khalil who bagged multiple offers. Likhil got 2 offers, Khalil got 4 offer letters, and he shared all the 4 offer letters to me. Right. And these are some success stories of our previous batch students, some appreciation received from their managers. Right. This is Narendra, and like one more Harsh, I think. Yeah, Harsh. And this offer letter belongs to Suraj. Suraj is a mechanical background student, and he joined my training in 2022, and he got placement in the same year. And recently, like he completed 2 years of his career as well. Right. And he also got very good, like he got 20% hike in the last appraisal. Okay. So apart from that, we have some more students like Ishwar, and again, this belongs to Suraj, I think. Suraj, etc. These are a couple of success stories of our previous batch students. Again, this offer letter belongs to Suraj. Okay. There are some people who got like 4 to 5 offer letters after the training. And yeah, this is June 2024. Like we had 6 students got selected in just 1 month, June 2024. Okay. And I did not add the recent success stories. This last month we had 3 people got onboarded, and this month Monica got onboarded this month. And just now before the session, like I got a call from this guy that he got selected, and this guy, yeah. So this guy got selected in the last 1 week, and he's going to get onboarded this week. So we have around overall we have around like 700 to 800 people like we I think 1,000 people completed training from our institute, and around 700 to 800 people got direct students, like some people uh, buy recorded sessions and they go through them. So I'm not talking about them, but like those who attended live training, there are around 700 to 800 people who got placement without proxy or backdoor, and almost like 400 to 500 people already completed 2 years of their career. These are few more success stories and our reviews shared by our previous batch students. So please go through our reviews. You can search for performance testing real time training or live training, I think. Okay. Pavan MGM IT training. So, and you can go through our, some testimonials given by our previous batch students. This is our Google page, which is having 114 Google reviews, guys. Please go through them. If you want to go through our testimonials given by our previous batch students, feedback or review given by our previous batch students. So yeah, this is my YouTube channel, which is having like 13,000 subscribers as of now, today. So with only performance testing course, we achieved this 13,000 subscribers with only performance testing, with single course, performance testing course only alone. And we are having our social media presence in Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Insta, as you see here, right? And yeah, this is our Insta page. Okay, yeah, and there are few more worth mentioning achievements of our previous batch students. So you can see here, this is one appreciation email that one of our previous batch student called Sai Nikhil got from his manager on completing 1 year. On completing 1 year, I had masked the company name, so you can go through this appreciation that he got. And this is Khalil, who joined Cognizant, and he got like best team member award in the first 6 months itself. And again, I think I had explained this yesterday. So this is Bhargav. This guy's name is Bhargav, and he got a 15,000 performance bonus again in the first 6 months itself, right? And there are like we frequently get this some referral openings. You can see here. This is the last slide, and then I'll start the actual performance testing concepts, fundamental concepts. So we frequently get some referral openings from our associate QA companies. There are, there are around 10 QA companies that we are having strong association with. So whenever they have requirement, they first approach us to provide from profiles. As you can see here, Frugal Testing is one of those companies, and one more company called Optim, and then this is one more. This is one more company like I don't remember, we don't have the company name over here. Okay. So anyways, these are some referral openings, that we get from our associate QA companies, guys. Okay. So now let's start the performance testing fundamental concepts. So as we discussed yesterday, so the first 2 weeks will be dedicated for performance testing fundamental concepts, because we most of the people are from non-computers background. In any batch, most of our batches, or for that matter, performance testing, like most of the people from non-computers background choose performance testing as their career, because this is low coding and no coding and high package IT career, right? So I think you can see, read it over here. So performance testing is low coding or no coding and high package IT career. So as we will have, most of the students will be from non-computers background. So I'll start from these level of basics. What is operating system and system configuration and all this. So for those who are from computers background, for some few people you may feel bored, or you may feel that you already know this. So please bear with me. Otherwise, you can join from tomorrow onwards, right? From tomorrow or day after tomorrow onwards. If you are already well aware of all these concepts, right? So first, let me go to slideshow mode, and let me, go one by one. So the first concept that I want to discuss is operating system. So what is an operating system, guys? If someone asks you what is an operating system, see guys, these questions are important, particularly for freshers. So when you are attending interviews, like they may not ask performance testing concepts directly. They may ask you like, what is operating system, how to check your system configuration, what is public IP, private IP, etc. Right. So that's the reason we are covering this. These are very important for freshers, guys, particularly for freshers, right? Now, what is an operating system? Can someone define what is an operating system?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, please.
So operating system is a software program which acts as an interface between the hardware and the software application, sir. It
Right.
acts as a communication between hardware and the application, sir.
Hardware and the applications, right? Okay. So, and what is how to check your system configuration? Let someone else answer this. Aishwarya, you already completed LoadRunner training, right, with us. So, how to check your system configuration, Aishwarya? Or can you check your system configuration and post it in the Zoom chat? Aishwarya, able to hear me? Hey, hi, Akila. Good evening. Is this your first session, Akila?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aishwarya, are you able to hear me? Are you with us? Okay. Guys, if you are going away from your system, for a moment, so please just drop a message saying that, in the Zoom chat. Just drop a message, you'll be right back, or you will be back in 10 minutes. Then only, I'll get to know like who all are in front of their system, right? Sirisha, how to check your system configuration, Sirisha? Sirisha, you are from BCom Computers background, right? Yes, you need to speak out. Okay, we cannot have silent spectators. So if you are not speaking, or if you are not responding to me, I don't have any other option other than removing you from the meeting. So Sirisha, how to check your system configuration? Okay, let me ask other Sirisha who joined just now. Sirisha, Guntur Sirisha, can you please let me know how to check your system configuration? What is meant by system configuration, by the way? Nidhi?
System, okay, sir. So hard disk space and everything in the computer, in the system. So we can
Hard disk, what else?
storage space and
First comes CPU, right? CPU and then memory,
okay.
right?
Yes,
CPU, memory, and hard disk, isn't it? And how to
yes.
check your CPU configuration, how to check your CPU, capacity, and how to check your RAM capacity and all. Guys, most of you know that.
Task manager.
Go to command.
CPU utilization we can check through with by opening the task manager and go
Right.
to
Right.
settings.
So you can open Task Manager and go to Performance tab, right? Guys, these concepts are important for performance testing. Okay. Every performance engineer should know how to check their system configuration. So because the performance of the application, any application depends on this, depends on the CPU and memory power of your servers, isn't it? Right? Suppose you are doing performance testing for, let's say, hdfcbank.com or icicibank.com, right? Or any website like irctc.co.in or bigbasket.com. Let's say you are doing performance testing for Big Basket application. And this Big Basket application will be running on some servers, right? Some web server, app server, DB server. So first you should know, what is the capacity of those servers, right? So how to check the system configuration of any machine for that matter, or how to check your system configuration. So you open Task Manager, go to Performance tab, and you need to check here, my CPU, the CPU capacity or my CPU configuration on my machine it is a 13th generation i7 processor, right? 13th generation i7 processor. And see, this number denotes again the generation. Okay, which number? This one. This number represents the generation, the processor generation. And i7 is the processor model. And see, what is this U or H or P? You see some letter at the ending of this, right? There is something called U, isn't it? So this processor is like not a high performance processor, but it gives more uh, more charging power, right? The charging will be like last for longer. So but this is not a high performance processor. Understood, guys? I have one more laptop which is a high performance processor. Let me show you that. If anyone is looking to buy a computer, so be careful with this. You should know this information, guys. It will be really helpful if you know this information. So like you should not buy a high processor with letter U here for a high performance processor laptop rate, isn't it? Yes or no, guys? So if the shopkeeper is quoting you more price and if he say that it is a high performance processor, so he's simply cheating you. You have to check the letter at this, the processor configuration immediately. Understood, guys? So anyways, this is I have one more laptop with me. I'll show you that. I'll connect to that remote. I'll connect remotely to that machine and I'll show you that that machine is a high performance processor. Just give me a moment. So you should know this information, particularly performance engineers should know this information, guys. Right. Now that system is on now. My other laptop is on now. Now I want to connect to that, remote machine from here. So how can I connect to that remote computer, another computer from my machine?
We need to
Guys, you know
mention
that.
the
Most of
IP.
you know that. Yes.
We need to mention the IP address of the specific machine which we have to connect to.
Right. Where should I mention that?
So remote option will be the host.
Right. In the Windows search box, type remote, and you'll get this option called remote desktop connection. Right? And now you need to know either IP address or the system name, isn't it? So this is my system name, my other laptop name. Okay. You should know either IP address or system name, and what else? What is the other information that you need to have? if you want to connect to a remote machine. What are details you need, to connect to a remote machine?
Username and password.
Right. You need to know the credentials for that machine, isn't it? You need to know the IP address or host name, isn't it? IP address or host name. Host name is nothing but computer name or the device name, isn't it? And credentials of that machine. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly create a class notes document for your batch. Let me write it down with all these concepts. I'll share this class notes document with everyone once you confirm your joining. Okay. Now, how to connect to the remote machine? So first of all, I need to know the IP address. Now, what is meant by IP address, guys? Yes, guys. What is meant by IP address? You know that, guys. Most of you know that.
A unique address given to a particular.
It's a unique address.
Unique address or unique number or address assigned to any device connected to the internet, right? Just Google search, guys. Just Google search if you are not aware or if you cannot put it in words. What is an IP address? It is a unique address assigned to any device. Why are we, why am I calling it as a device? Any device, right? Any device connected to the internet, right? Why did I call here a device? So can I call it as a computer only?
No.
Okay. Why? Why, why should I call it as a device? Let me explain. So you can see not only computers, even when you have a smartphone connected to the internet, it will have some IP address. Smart printers, nowadays printers are having IP address, some IP address, isn't it? Or you take a tablet or what we call that, iPad or something, right? Any smart device can have a unique IP, unique address assigned to itself, which is connected to the internet, and that is called as, that unique address is called as IP address, or that unique number assigned, unique number or unique address assigned to any device is called as a IP address. And how to check the IP address of your machine? Suppose I want to check the IP address of this machine. How to check it?
In command prompt, we can type the command ipconfig.
ipconfig, right? So what is the IP address now? What is the IP address of this laptop now?
IPv4 address, sir, 192.
IPv4 address.
192.168.2.
Right. So 192.168.1.2. That is the IP address of this machine, isn't it? Now, this is the now in IP address there is something called private IP and public IP. Now tell me, what is this private? Is this a private IP address or public IP address?
Private IP, sir.
Private.
IP, right? So private IP address of this laptop is 192.168.1.2. Read it as 192.168 or read it as 192.168.1.2. Don't read it as point. Okay, please don't read it as point. It should be read as dot. Now this is the private IP address of this laptop. Okay, and which laptop? Any device will have some name, right? Suppose I want to check what is the name of this device. How to check the name of this device? Again, you know this, guys. Most of you know this.
Host name.
Right. You simply type host name in the command prompt, and you'll see the device name, right? So Lenovo ThinkPad is the name that is assigned to this machine now. Clear, guys? The laptop that you are seeing, right? So host name, or else you can, if you want to see this information, you can right click on this PC, go to properties, and there also you can get this information. Device name over here, you can see the device name over here. You can see the processor configuration, and you can see how much RAM is installed on my laptop. Right now, this laptop is having 16 GB RAM, isn't it? And I have, what is the operating system on this laptop? It is Windows 11 Pro, right? So I'm having Windows 11 Pro installed on this laptop, isn't it? 1 second, please. See, in the Zoom meeting controls, you have a microphone symbol, right? You have a microphone symbol at the bottom, and next to that microphone, you have an option called test speaker and microphone. Please use this option if you are facing any audio issues. Right. Okay. So please use that option, and like that will help you to fix if there are any audio issues, that will help to fix it. Okay. Or else, please call me after the session. So I'll try to resolve that issue. Okay. Now, so is it clear, guys? You can also go to this PC properties, and there you can see all this information. What is the operating system on this device, right? And what is the system configuration and all, right? But you should know this information, guys. You should know how to check this information. Okay. There is a lot of other information also that you need to know as a performance engineer. We'll discuss it later. For example, let me go to task manager and go to CPU, and you should know what is this base speed, what is this cores, number of cores is. Can you see here? Are you seeing my task manager? You can see that it is a 10 core processor. Number of cores is 10, and logical processors are 12 on this laptop, right? L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. You should know all this information. Particularly for performance testing engineers should be aware of all this information, right? And then the total RAM installed on my machine is 16 GB, right? Memory means nothing but RAM. Now this one, right? Where RAM stands for, this, guys. Again, all of you know this. What does this RAM stands for?
Random access memory.
Right. Random access memory. Right. And then next information that you should know is what is your hard disk, right? So in memory, see, observe here, 16 GB of RAM is installed on this machine, out of which 10 GB is already occupied here, 10 GB is already in use, isn't it? You can see here, that 10 GB of memory is already in use, and 5.5 GB is available, or free memory. The free memory on my machine currently is 5.5 GB approx, right? And the speed of my RAM is 3200 MT per second, right? 3200 MT per second. So in older RAMs, you will see like, can you check the, RAM speed on your machine? It will be something like gigahertz or something, isn't it? Now gigahertz is CPU power. Memory, can you please check this memory, guys, on your machine? What is the speed that it is showing on your machine? And what is MT per second? MT by S versus megahertz. Yeah. So in the previous, some, if you, for example, I'll connect to my remote machine. That is a old laptop. On that old laptop, it will be shown in megahertz. Let me connect to that machine. Just give me a moment. Let me connect to my other laptop. I'm doing a remote desktop connection, guys. So what information you need to know? You should know the IP address or the host name and credentials of that machine, isn't it? Now this is the host name of that machine, my other laptop. And let me connect to that. It is securing a remote connection to the other laptop. Right. Now this is my other laptop. Now, I had connected to that laptop through a remote desktop connection. And now if you see that laptop configuration or RAM configuration on this, sorry, this is showing. Yeah. See, observe here, on this machine memory is, I'm sorry, this is showing only my current machine only 2667 MT by S. Yeah. Now you can see here, okay. Now you can see here that this is i7 9th generation processor. And observe here, oh, it's not showing that. Yeah. You see here, there is a letter H here. That is what I want to show you related to processor. Understood, guys? H for high performance, guys. This is a high performance processor. This processor is completely different, and memory is 2667 MT/s. So MT/s, this is, I think from Windows 11 onwards, the RAM speed is being shown in like this, right? Previously, it used to in Windows 10, it used to show in megahertz, right? So what does that MT/s stand for? Mega transfers or million transfers per second, right? MT/s is the short form of mega transfers or million transfers per second. And it is the more accurate measurement for the effective data rate of DDR SD-RAM memory, right? So previously it used to be shown in megahertz. Now it is, from Windows 11 onwards, I think, this is represented in MT/s, right? What does this MHz stands for megahertz, whereas this MT/s stands for mega transfers per second or million transfers per second. Clear, guys? So this is about RAM configuration. And now let me check the, did you observe this, guys? I just want to show you and make sure that all of you are aware of this. If you are buying a new laptop, you should know this, like whether your processor is a high performance processor or a medium performance processor. Okay. So this is a high performance processor. H stands for high performance processor, right? And then moving to memory, again, this system is also having 16 GB RAM, and out of which 9 GB of memory is available, right? And disk is SSD. This machine is having an SSD, right? And it is NVMe SSD, and the capacity is 1 TB. And Hynix is the company name. Hynix is the hard disk company name. And 1 TB is the SSD capacity on this machine. Okay. And everyone should know, like, there are two types of hard disk. What are those, guys? You know that. Most of you know that.
HDD, SDD.
Right. HDD and
SDD.
SSD. Right.
SS.
So
Okay.
HDD stands for
Hard disk
hard
drive.
disk drive. Right. And SSD stands for most of you know that, guys. Solid state drive. Now, what is the difference between HDD and SSD? This is how you are, this is the difference between those two. This diagram or this picture depicts those. So this is how a hard disk drive looks like, which will be having like disks like this, circular disk like this, and you will have a read-write head like this, isn't it? You will have a read-write head, like which reads or writes information from or to the disk, isn't it? And this is how an SSD looks like. SSD looks like similarly like a RAM, isn't it? RAM also looks like this, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is how a RAM looks like, right? RAM in computer. This is how a RAM looks like, isn't it? So your SSD also looks similar to RAM, right? Not exactly, but it looks like there will be no moving parts here. There will be no moving parts, and that's why like the weight of the laptop will be less when you have an SSD, but when you have a hard disk drive in your laptop, the weight will be more, right? At least this will be at least like 250 grams, 200 or 250 grams, isn't it? And also there will be movable parts here, isn't it? Whereas SSD doesn't have movable parts, so that's why the lifespan of the disk will be more, right? But however, it will be costly, isn't it? SSDs will be costly. SSDs are costlier than hard disk drives, right? Whereas the shock resistant of hard drive is 55 grams operating, whereas shock resistance of SSD is 1500 grams, right? Both in operating and non-operating situations, right? So basically your SSDs are more reliable. There are less chances of getting crashed, and they are more faster. They are more efficient and more faster. Right. Whereas hard disk drives, as they will be having movable parts, and if you want to open a file or write a file to the hard disk, this read write head should move to the corresponding sector and it should read or write from there. So you see here, there is a read write head. RW head means nothing but read write head that you see over here, right? And you call this as a spindle, and these are called as these circular plates are called as platters, right? All right. So now going back to these fundamental concepts again. So I told you that, we discussed about public IP and private. We discussed about private IP, isn't it? How to check the private IP of your machine? You simply open a command prompt and type IP config in Windows. If it is Linux operating system, what is the command to check the IP address in Linux operating system? Some of you know that case. In Windows, it is IP config, and in Linux, yes, if config. Why are we discussing Linux here? Why are we discussing Linux commands here is, so most of your applications will be running on Linux servers, and you should know some basic Linux commands. Okay, I'll cover that. I'll give you some easier ways to learn these Linux commands. You need not join any separate course for that. Just spend like 3 to 4 hours and you can be proficient in basic Linux commands. Okay. Right? And then this is private IP. Now, what is public IP, guys, by the way? Or what is the difference between private IP and public IP?
Private IP is within the system.
Private IP is, yes, within your
Within the
network,
system.
not within the system. Within your network. IP address within your network is called as private IP. Okay. Observe here. Let me explain this. See, for example, I am connected to. Let me show you the Wi-Fi that I got connected now. Are you seeing that this Wi-Fi name? Are you seeing the Wi-Fi name that I got connected, guys? Now,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I gave my Wi-Fi name as Pavan MGM IT Training, followed by my phone number. Okay. So, and you can see this is the Wi-Fi router that I got connected. And now let me show that remote machine as well. I told you that, like I have shown you one more machine, right? Now, if you see, I am also connected, this machine is also connected to you to same Wi-Fi router, isn't it? This is a remote machine, guys. You are able to see that. You are able to differentiate it, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
So, both of these laptops are connected to the same Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi router, right? Now, IP address means the very first definition of IP address is a unique number assigned to any device connected to the internet, isn't it? Now, how does we know that, or how does how to differentiate different devices connected to the internet to the same Wi-Fi or router is each machine or each device connected to the internet will be assigned some private IP address. So private IP is nothing but within your network, the IP address assigned within your network or IP address used to identify a device within your network is called as private IP. Clear, guys? Now, what is public IP then? What is public IP, and how to identify the public IP? How to identify the public IP of your network? First of all, what is public IP? So the IP address to the external world is called as public IP. The IP address with which others, the external world can recognize this internet connection or those devices, that is called as public IP. So IP address to the external world is called as public IP. I'll give you some simple example to remember or help you understand the difference between private IP and public IP. right? I'll give you some simple example. First, let me show you how to identify the public IP. Some of you may be knowing this. Yes, how to identify the public IP?
Go to
Yes. Open any browser and type what is my IPAddress.com. What is my IPAddress.com or what is my IP.com. You can go to any of these websites to find out the public IP of your network. Okay. So let it load, or meanwhile, let me go to the other website. What is my IP.com. There is another website called what is my IP.com. Okay. Now you see here, it is showing some public IP as 106.222.231.47, isn't it? So this is this is my public IP. Okay. This is private IP of this laptop, whereas the public IP of my laptop is this one. Or public IP of my network, sorry. Public IP of my network is 106.222.237.40.47. 1 second, please. This is public IP of my network. Clear, guys? Now, what would be, so public IP is something which is visible to the external world. Now, what will be the public IP of other laptop? See, this is my second laptop. This is my second laptop, and what would be the public IP of this laptop is? Yes, guys. There will be only one public IP. Please remember this. Okay. See, observe here, it will also show you the same IP address. Public IP will be same, and it will be same, or any device connected to my network will have same public IP. Understood, guys? Any device connected to my Wi-Fi router will have same public IP, and you can see the location as well. IP location is Hyderabad TGIN, Telangana, India. And what is ISP? What is meant by ISP? You can also
Internet
go through the
service
definitions
provider.
over here, guys. You can see clear description, elaborate description of what is an IP address, what is private IP address, right? Private IP address is an IP assigned to devices on private networks, right? So please go through this content. Please go through this content after the session, right? So for now, let me explain that ISP is nothing but ISP stands for, yes,
Internet service provider.
internet service provider, right? So internet service provider, right? Now let me explain some example to help you understand or help you remember this private IP, difference between private IP and public IP. Let's assume that you are staying in a multi-story apartment. Let's assume that you are staying in a multi-story apartment where you will have some flat numbers for each apartment, isn't it? Flat number 101, 102, 103, and so on. Or in second floor, you will have 201, 202, 203, and so on, isn't it? Now, suppose any of your neighbor asks you where do you stay? For example, you met some neighbor in the in the parking area or somewhere, and if they ask you, where do you stay, right? What will you tell, guys? What will you tell to them?
We'll say a particular flat number where we are staying.
Right. You'll say your particular flat number where you are staying. You say something like flat number 201 or 101 or whatever it is, right? But if suppose someone asks you, someone outside of, so basically that that is similar to private IP. So that helps you to tell your address within the apartment, isn't it? Within your building, isn't it, guys? But if your colleague, you went to office, and if your colleague asks you where do you stay, you will not, definitely you won't tell flat number 101 or 201, isn't it? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what do you say? If if your colleague or some outsider asks you where do you stay, you'll say your building name, isn't it? You'll say your building name, or you'll say your area, isn't it? So that is something like your public IP. You'll say some apartment name, right? You say some Aparna Serene Park, or whatever the building it is, or whatever the premises wherever you stay, isn't it? So because that is how you tell your address to the outsiders. But if someone within your apartment asks you where do you stay, you will not say like you will not say your building name, isn't it? But you will say your flat number, isn't it? Because that address is helpful to identify within the building or within the premises, right? Is this clear now? What is the difference between private IP and a public IP? Public IP is something which is to the external world, whereas private IP is within your network, right? And every device connected to the internet will have a unique IP address. Let me show you the IP address of the other laptop as well. Private IP of the other laptop. Okay. So how to check again? How to check what is the IP address of this machine, guys? So open a command prompt and
Type IP config.
IP config. Right. So this is the private IP. Observe here. This is the private IP. And what is the how to check the host name? Host name or device name is perf-test, isn't it? So now let me paste it over here. Okay. So this is the private IP of my other laptop. And this machine name is, this laptop name is perf-test, isn't it? So in the training, like I will be using both the laptops, like whenever required. So like, like when you are doing load testing and all. So I will be having, my application on a remote machine, and I'll be using, I'll be having my JMeter on this machine. So I'm, like I have been showing this from this year. Like previously, I used to use only one laptop, but like from this year, I am using two laptops to show you, like how does it work in the real time? How does your, how it will be in the real time environment? How to connect to a remote machine? How to copy files from one machine to from your office laptop to another laptop, right? From one laptop to another laptop, and like if you are facing some connectivity issues, how to fix them, right? So to explain this, I know I have been using two laptops or two machines from this year onwards, right? Okay. So anyways, now coming back to this, right? So one of my laptop IP address is 192.168.1.2. Private IP is 192.168.1.2, and another laptop is 192.168.1.7, right? And now we know I am having a mobile, and that mobile will be having another some other IP address, right? Will mobile have an IP address?
Yes, sir.
Definitely. If it is a smartphone, of course, everyone is using a smartphone nowadays. So every smartphone or every mobile which is connected to the internet also will have a unique IP address, and that will be private IP address. Now, can you check how to, identify your mobile IP address? Please check it, guys. Check it yourself. How to check the IP address of your mobile phone, smartphone? You go to settings. Guys, you should know this information. We will be doing mobile performance testing as well. Okay. So when you are doing performance testing, we do performance testing for web applications and mobile apps. So you should know this information. How to check the IP address of your mobile phone? Go to settings, select your Wi-Fi that you are connected to.
Yeah. You
Right?
have to click on that I symbol.
I symbol next to that, right? And there it will
Yeah.
show the IP address. Let me, I'm verifying my IP address of my mobile phone. 192.168.1.4 is the IP address of my mobile now, right? Now, are these fixed values? Will they be same forever? And there is one printer
No.
at my home, and it will have some other IP address. Okay, I have a Epson printer at my home, smart printer, and it will have some unique IP address. Okay, so let me try to show that as well. Printer. Oh, okay. It is not turned on now. Let me quickly, power it on. So every device connected to the all I want to make sure are clear is every smart device or every smart device connected to the internet or will have a unique IP address, and that is called as private IP. And private IP is something within your network. That IP address is applicable within your network. To the external world, all these devices, the public IP of this laptop and my mobile phone and my printer, the public IP address will be same. So public IP is the IP address with which my network is visible to the external world, or all these devices are visible to the external world with the help of public IP. Clear, guys? So this is the sorry. Somewhere it is showing that IP address here. 192.168.1.9 is the IP address of my printer now. Isn't it? You see some IP address over here?
Yes, sir.
192.168.1.9 is the IP address, and this is a smart printer, and I can give a printout, from my mobile phone, or suppose I am in my institute, I want to give some printout at home. I can do that with the help of this IP address because it is a smart printer and connected to the internet. I can give print from anywhere, isn't it? I hope you are aware of that, right? 192. So what is the IP address of my printer? 192.168.1.9, right? This is the IP address of my printer. Now all these devices, why I'm explaining this is all these devices will have a common public IP. The public IP will be same for all these devices. Everyone, is it clear for everyone? And that depends on your, basically that depends on your router, right? That depends on your router. Clear, guys? The public IP, there will be one single public IP for my Wi-Fi router or your Wi-Fi router. There will be one single public IP. Suppose you are staying in a PG, right? And you and your roommate are having like one laptop and one smartphone. Now each of these devices will have a private IP, but the public IP, if you are connected to say to your PG Wi-Fi network, the public IP will be same for all the devices. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can see here, these websites also show you that public IP. What is my IPAddress.com shows you the public IP. And this website particularly shows you clearly that, this is public IP. My public IP v4 is, right? This clearly tells you that this is public IP. And what is IP? See, observe here again in IP address, you have something called IPv4 and IPv6. Why do we have IPv4 and IPv6? And what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6? Right? We'll discuss it tomorrow. Not so important concept, but I'll stop it here for today. And hold on, just give me a moment. Yeah, we are done with this, and we'll discuss it. Yeah, or else we have 5 more minutes. Let me complete this one also. So, what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6? First of all, what is that V? IP. First of all, what is that IP? What does that IP stands for?
Internet protocol.
Internet protocol. IP stands for Internet protocol, right? And you might have come across this, or you might have read this terminology in your academics, right? If you are from computers background. And there is something called TCP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, right? Our whole internet works on this TCP IP protocols, TCP IP protocols. The whole internet works on TCP IP protocols, isn't it? And what is IPv4 and what is IPv6? Or when we have IPv4, why again IPv6? Why this? Why? See, initially IPv4 was there previously. Recently, the World Wide Web, there is something called World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, www on top, right? In the URL, if you see any URL, you have something called www, isn't it? Where www stands for World Wide Web,
Right.
World Wide Web Consortium. Right? That will define these standards and all this IP addresses, public IP, private IP, these versions, all this will be defined by this World Wide Web Consortium. Now, when we have previously, we had only IPv4, right? IPv4, but recently they had introduced IPv6, right? What might be the reason? when we have IPv4, what is the necessity of IPv6 again? See, observe here, IPv6 will be very difficult to read or remember. You see here, this is how IPv6 looks like. Or else let me show you the IPv6 address of my laptop. You see here, you can see here, this is IPv6 address, which is difficult to read or difficult to remember, isn't it? But why did www has introduced this IPv6 address is, you remember, like in the mobile phones, let us take this mobile phones example. Previously, initially, all our mobile numbers used to start with number. Initially, all our mobile numbers used to start with number
9.
number 9, isn't it? But after once all the 9 series numbers are exhausted, then they started 8 series and then 7 series and then 6 series, isn't it? So similarly, all these, see, IPv4, will have a set of 4 numbers. That's it, isn't it? So maybe, all these numbers are exhausted. That is why they had introduced this IPv6 address. WW World Wide Web Consortium has introduced this IPv6 address because, these combinations and permutations are all over, maybe, right? And that is the reason maybe they have introduced this, or there may be some other reason. But, like right now we have the latest way to identify any device is IPv6, right? So that is enough, guys. You need not know the internals or in-depth details of all those, but you should know that there is something called public IP and private IP, and what is IP address, how to check the IP address of any device. Okay, so I'll stop it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow, guys. So any queries before we close today's session? And Pranit, did you join the Google Classroom? Did you accept the invite and join the classroom? So yeah, okay. I can see that, you accepted the invite, right? Guys, once you confirm your joining, I'll be adding you to the Google Classroom and I'll be giving assignments over here. Okay. I'll be giving some assignments over here, scripting assignments, and, initially, initially right now you will not have any scripting assignments, right? So JMeter will be started, somewhere around, today is 10th September, right? So JMeter will be started somewhere around 25th September or 20th September. Okay, 20th September mostly. Okay, so till then, so please learn some Excel basics and Word basics till then, right? You should know MS Office suite, or you should know how to use Word and how to use Excel as a minimum basic thing. Not only performance testing engineer, whether you are into manual testing or automation or development, right? You should be very good on using Word document, Word and Excel, right? And if you are already good in that, well and good, you need not worry about this. But if you are not, if you are not proficient on Word and Excel, please please go through some videos, right? In the first 1 week, please go through some videos on Word and Excel. Okay, let me show you how to access those. So once you open a Word document, if you are having a licensed version of MS Office, then only you will be able to see these videos. There will be some training videos, if you go to open a blank document and go to help, there will be an option called show training. Click on that show training and you will have short videos on the right side. You see here Word for Windows training, quick start, write and edit, format text, layout pages, etc. There will be some show and how to insert a table, how to insert pictures, watermarks. Watermarks not required, but the first 5 lessons are important in Word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the first 5 are important, right? And in Word, and similarly Excel also. So Microsoft Excel. So you need to know some Excel basics. So how to learn those? If you are new to, if you are from non-computers background, or if you want to refresh these concepts, open a blank sheet and again go to help, show training. Again there will be some short videos. Videos will be hardly 5 minutes. That's it. Okay, each of these training videos will be hardly 5 minutes. Okay, but you should be aware of all these concepts. What is row, what is column, what is cell, how to apply formulas in Excel and functions in Excel, formatting, and tables and charts, how to create a table and how to create a chart, etc. So first 5 lessons are very important. Even in Excel, the first 5 training videos are important. Okay. So as you don't have any assignment now, scripting assignment now, you will not have scripting assignment for the next 10 days. So meanwhile, please complete these Excel and Word training videos, right? So that would be the first assignment that I would be giving for any batch. Okay.
Pavan, can I share again my email ID or I will go through the old notes classroom?
Yeah, sure.
Can I
Okay.
send my email ID to add this new classroom?
Yeah. Please share me your Gmail ID.
Yeah.
Who is this Prashanti?
Yeah, Pavan.
Sir, even Manisha, myself.
Yeah,
Same
Manisha, I'll
email
add
ID
your.
or else? Yeah. Okay, sir.
Sure. I'll add your, let me save it and let me add yours, your Gmail IDs. And then I'll create an assignment. I'll share the assignment. Okay.
Sir, can you please
Yes.
share me the fee details, fee structure to Nidhi?
Sure. Sure, guys. So once I add, the other members who already paid fees, I will be sharing this assignment, guys. Okay. So Google Classroom is where I will be sharing the scripting assignments and, these general assignments and all this. Okay. So I'll share it, once I add others Gmail IDs as well. So please ping me your Gmail IDs in Zoom chat or WhatsApp to me separately. Don't ping in the group. Don't ping in the group chat or don't ping it in your WhatsApp group. But please send me a DM direct message. All right. I'll stop it here, guys, for today. And I am uploading all these recorded sessions to the playlist URL. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on all notifications, once I upload this, you will get a notification. Okay. So please subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you will get, the first 10 sessions will be uploaded as public videos. All right. So, if you subscribe and turn on all notifications, then you will get a notification within the next 1 hour, half an hour to 1 hour, once I upload today's session as well. All right. And also request you to follow my Insta page where we are sharing a lot of openings and refer any friends or relatives who are looking for training. As I told you, so any degree qualification is enough. Let me quickly show you that for testing career, particularly for software testing career, what is the minimum qualification? What is the eligibility criteria is 15 years of full-time education. That's it. Let me show you one screenshot. This is from TCS. This email is from TCS, as you can see here. Let me zoom in, right? And they are looking for 1 to 6 years experience. And in that mail, they mentioned that minimum qualification is 15 years of full-time education. So BTech and MC are not mandatory. Any degree is fine for testing, software testing career, right? But it should be a full-time education, guys. Correspondence degrees are not accepted or by some of the companies. Or most of the companies don't accept correspondence degrees. It should be a full-time degree. Clear, guys, or any queries? Any queries before we close today's session? All right, then I'll take your silence as no, and I'll stop the session for today. Let me update the tracker sheet. Okay. So 8 to 9, 1 hour. So today we discussed know your computer, where we discussed, IP address. So I'll be updating this, batch tracker sheet. So regularly, so that, if anyone miss any session, so you can refer to that, what concept is covered on that day, and you can refer to the corresponding recorded session for that particular day, right? So today we discussed about IP address, public IP, private IP, and remote desktop connection, and how to check the system configuration, isn't it? How to check your system configuration and all these concepts. What is the operating system and how to check system configuration, right? So these are the concepts that we discussed today on 10th September. All right. So I'll close the session, guys, for today. Let me pause recording. So the standard timings for this batch will be 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. onwards from next week, if you don't have any issue, right? Anyways, we'll go with majority people convenient time. Okay. If 8 to 9 only is convenient, we'll go with 8 to 9. But I prefer to have session from 7:30 to 8:30 so that I can close the session by at least 9 o'clock. See, we should have some buffer time, 15 to 20 minutes of buffer time, right? So once we start scripting, you'll have a lot of queries, lot of doubts. So you'll have, but I want to close the session. Typically, my session will be for 1.5 hours. But the standard timings will be 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and half an hour would be the buffer time, right? So is everyone okay with this timing, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So by max 9 o'clock, I want to close the session. Okay. So half an hour will be buffer time. Like, if you have any queries or, once we start scripting, you'll have a lot of doubts and queries. So, 1 hour will not be definitely sufficient once we start scripting. But the first 15 days, 10 to 15 days will be, I'll take only 1 hour session. Theory part will be only for 1 hour. And once we start the scripting part, practical part, we'll have 1.5 hour sessions. All right then. So this is Pavan from MGM IT Training signing off. Good night.